Om Vishnupada Paramahamsakacharya Ashtottara Shata Srimad Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, all glory to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 3, chapter 22nd, Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti, text 35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please repeat. Ayatayamastasyāsan Yamasvantarayapana Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha Ayatayamastasyāsan Yamasvantarayapana Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha Ayatayamastasyāsan Yamasvantarayapana Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha. Prabhuji. Ayatayamatasyasan Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha Ayatayamastasyāsan Yamaha Svantarayapana Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha Ayatayamastasyāsan Yamasvantarayapana Shunvato Dhyayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha. What meaning? Ayatayama, time never lost. Tasya, of Manu. Asan, were. Yama, the hours. Swaantara, his duration of life. Yapana, bring to an end. Shunvata, hearing. Dhyayato, contemplating. Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu. Kurvata, acting. Bruvata, speaking. Katha, the topics. Translation and purport by His Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So the translation. Consequently, please repeat. Consequently, although his duration of life gradually came to an end, his long life, consisting of Manvantara era, was not spent in vain, since he never engaged in hearing, since he ever engaged in hearing contemplating, writing down, and chanting the pastimes of the Lord. Purport, please here. As freshly prepared food is very tasteful, but if it kept for 3 or 4 hours becomes stale and tasteless. So the existence of material enjoyment can endure as long as life is fresh. But at the fag end of life, everything becomes tasteless and everything appears to be vain and painful. The life of Emperor Swayambhuva Manu, however, was not tasteless. As he grew older, his life remained as fresh as in the beginning because of his continued Krishna consciousness. The life of a man in Krishna consciousness is always fresh. It is said that the sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening, and its business is to reduce the duration of everyone's life. But the sunrise and the sunset cannot diminish the life of one who engages in Krishna consciousness. Swayambhuva Manu's life did not become stale after some time, for he engaged himself always in chanting about and meditating upon Lord Vishnu. He was the greatest yogi because he never wasted his time. It is especially mentioned here, Vishnu Kurvato Bruvat Katha, Bruvata Katha. When he talked only of Krishna and Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. When he heard something, it was about Krishna. When he meditated, it was upon Krishna and his activities. It is stated that his life was very long, 71 yugas. One yuga is completed in 4,320,000 years. 71 such yugas is the duration of life of Manu. And 14 such Manus come and go in one day of Brahma. For the entire duration of his life, 4,320,000 multiplied by 71 years, Manu engaged in Krishna consciousness by chanting, hearing, talking about meditation upon Krishna. Therefore, his life was not wasted and nor did it become stale. So very nice purport. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome back once again. So the chapter today's verse is text 35 from the Canto 3 and chapter 22, the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. So in the chapter what we discussed, just briefly revision. So we have the three personalities mainly, the Swayambhuva Manu, Kardama Muni and Devahuti throughout this discussion. So far mainly we focused on the Kardama Muni till this verse. Mainly the focus was mainly on, initially we discussed about Kardama Muni and later we Swayambhuva Manu currently we are discussing. If you see the Kardama Muni, those Kardama Muni and Swayambhuva Manu, they are not an ordinary persons. So Kardama Muni is also son of Brahma and Swayambhuva Manu is also, he was son of Swayambhu. Swayambhu is Brahma. That's why he is a Swayambhuva Manu. Both are great devotees. Swayambhuva Manu is one of the 12 Mahajans. So he was a great devotee. And Kardama Muni also, he did tapasya for 10,000 years. And Lord Vishnu appeared before him. So both are very great personalities, great devotees. And based on his instructions from Brahma, Kardama Muni wanted to beget progeny, create progeny. So then, when Lord Vishnu made all arrangements, and Swayambhuva Manu visited the hermitage of Kardama Muni, and Swayambhuva Manu was requesting Kardama Muni to marry his daughter Devahuti. So, and after that, the Kardama Muni got married with Devahuti, and Swayambhuva Manu went back to his kingdom. So I think all these verses were coming, and now the focus is more on this. From last couple of verses, we have seen the description about Swayambhuva Manu, how his devotion was continuing. And yesterday's verse, I think Kamsari Prabhu was mentioning very nicely about his devotion, how he was able to continue in the devotion, because he was an emperor, he was having great kingdom, and so much opulence, so much rich, he was great, so many people are there to serve him, right? In the material world, if you see any example, like as a prime minister of country, or a president of a country, or a company CEO, what he does, he will have so much money, so much luxurious things. So he will have so much money, so he will always look for more and more enjoyment. He will look how other people are enjoying. So his always intention is to, using his money, whatever facilities he got, he wanted to enjoy more and more. If you see, they wanted to have their own chartered flight to travel all around wherever they wanted to go, and they wanted to have big palace, big buildings, right? So many luxurious cars, all new branded cars. That is their focus, and these people will very much incline to Krishna consciousness. It's because once they are entangled in all the material enjoyment, it's very hard. I think if they have any great fortune, if they are very fortunate, they will get association with some great devotee. They may come into the Krishna conscious movement, but otherwise it's very difficult. But in contrast, if we see Swayambhuva Manu is an emperor. He's having all luxurious facilities, everything, whatever he wanted, he can get it, right? But his focus was Krishna. He was into the devotion. He was into the Krishna conscious path. He never get Shri Radha Gopinath ki. He never got any distraction. So in today's verse also, we are continuing discussing about his devotion. If you see, Manu, previously we discussed in some of the verses about the Manvantara and Manus, right? So in every day of Brahma, we have 14 Manus in the day of Brahma. And Swayambhuva Manu was first Manu. And current Manu is seventh Manu. Who is the current Manu? Any idea? Vaivasvata Manu, yes. Vaivasvata Manu is the current Manu, he is the seventh Manu. Means out of 14, say 6 Manus completed their ruling, and it's a seventh Manu. It's half day, almost lunchtime of Brahma, we can say. Half of the day is finished from Brahma, and the rest of remaining. After that, night will come, and it's a annihilation, partial annihilation will happen to them. So this is the 7 Manus. So, and each Manu will rule for 71 Chaturyugas. One Chaturyuga consists of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And that is one Chaturyuga. And each Manu will have 71 Chaturyugas, means 71 into 71 times of the Chaturyuga. And in the purport it was mentioned, what is the duration of one Chaturyuga? 4,320,000 years in terms of earth calculations, that many years. Now, if you see, it's 71 multiplied by 303, 4,320,000. It means it comes around 3 billion something. So that is the duration of Swayambhuva Manu. That much time he ruled. Of course, all the Manus will have the same amount of duration. So the duration is very big. We can understand. So continuing the devotion for such a long time, you need to have strong determination, strong focus, strong proper enthusiasm, right? proper motivation. You should have all the environment. So he did, this verse is specifying that the Swayambhuva Manu did for such a long time. So we need to understand what made him to continue with a strong determination to continue for such a long time. This is the formula mentioned in this verse. We can apply how we can keep our Krishna conscious journey ever enthusiastic, motivating, how we can follow the same path. This formula was mentioned in the success formula was mentioned in this verse. See, what is our material nature, conditioned nature? Suppose in the purport it was mentioning, if you prepared any food in the morning, by afternoon it will become tasteless, or it becomes stale, right? You will not have its freshness. Same thing. And still what we do, we keep the food in the refrigerator in the night, next day morning we'll put it in the oven and people start eating. So by afternoon itself we will not lose the freshness, but we try to use it. Same example, we can take many examples in the material world. Suppose you have one box of gulab jamun, right? You have 30 to 40 gulab jamuns in the box. What you thought, okay, every day I will eat 2. You will keep it in the refrigerator, freeze. And you eat every day, started eating 2 gulab jamuns. After 10 days, how do you feel? You feel bored. Oh, every day I am eating same sweet. I should try something different, right? Do you feel or not? So most of the times we put it back into and we don't touch it again for next 1 month, right? That is our nature. So if any activity we start doing, initially we will be enthusiastic, we will be inspired, or we will be very much interested in doing. But after some time, we lose the taste, we lose the focus. That is our conditioned nature. Not only that, if you go to David Jones or Meyer and get any branded shirt, you use that shirt for some time. After first wash, you use it second wash, you use it after third wash, that's it. You will dump it in the cupboard. You will see only after 1 year. So that is our material tendency. And not only that, so in the people here in Australia, anywhere, if any holidays come, any summer holidays or any other vacation, people plan for vacation. How they do? Last time I went America, so this year I should go to Europe. Or this time I'll go to Japan. Right? You won't go to the same place what you have been to previous time. So this is our material and nature. And this is how we behave in this material world. But same in terms of devotion also, if you see, it's mainly karma kandis. What they do? They worship Shiva to get something. To get money, they worship Lakshmi. So it all depends on their nature. Whatever they worship different demigods. So this is our conditional nature in the material world. But if you see the Swayambhuva Manu, with one Krishna, Vishnu's bhakti, devotion to Vishnu, he continued for such a long period. So if you see this verse also, it's mentioned, Yama Swantara Yapana. So Swantara means this duration of life. Yapana, bring to an end. So whose duration is coming to the end of life? Tasya, Swayambhuva Manu. But what is happening? Ayata Yama, time never lost. And that is what the karma. But why it is now never lost? Sunvato Jayato Vishnu Kurvat Bruvata Kata. So the time was never, so even though this 71 Chaturyugas, 3 billion years was there, it was never lost. Why? Because he was keep on focusing on Krishna consciousness. So this is how the Kardam Muni, Swayambhuva Manu is doing his devotion. We need to understand what is the reason for this. Sri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai. And in the material world, to keep enthusiasm, we keep ourselves in doing the things what we are doing. Suppose if you are working in a company, the company will invite some motivational speakers, right? You need some motivation to perform any work. Or if you are working in any company, if you are not having the good bonus for 1 year, and your salary is not increased, what you will do? You will look for any other job. So these are various factors which will help us to continue. So though we do not have initially, we start with the enthusiasm, but our motivation, our focus will deteriorate, and then we need something like some We need to have some motivational lectures or some other motivational factors to come back to our original the activities. But if you see what Swayambhu Maman did, he created a spiritual atmosphere. That's what we discussed in the previous verses. What kind of atmosphere he created? Every day, he used to wake up in the morning. He used to do in the palace, he is having in the temple, and he used to attend the Mangala Harati. Or he will be listening Krishna Katha every day morning with love, not just for the formality's sake or something we have to do. This is our task. We have to not like that. With love and sincerity, he was listening Krishna Katha. And evening also, he was organizing all Bhagavad Katha. He's not just following himself. He's also he was ensuring that all his citizens in the kingdom are following the same process. It's not an easy to, you are following good, but ensuring that all citizens in the kingdom also following this process is not an easy task. But if you see, I remember a story from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes. I was reading the Gauranga book for our Sunday school kids. In the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is a Nimai Pandit, he was teaching Sanskrit. That time he was not preaching devotion. He was only teaching Sanskrit. And he was having, at the age of 13 or 14 years age, he's teaching almost 1,000 students to the Sanskrit. And he says every day all the kids have to come with tilak. And that is a rule. If any of the kid, if he doesn't come with tilak, he will send them back. So he will be unhappy, the Nimai will be unhappy, and he will send them back to home, and they will come back with tilak. The reason is also, he also put strict process, like everyone has to get up in the morning, they have to do the Gayatri mantra and do all morning sadhana. So because whenever they do Gayatri mantra and all morning sadhana, they will put tilak. And with that tilak, they have to come to the Nimai school. If anybody is not having tilak, means he didn't perform the sadhana in the morning. So he will strictly send them back, and he will ensure that they are following the path. So this is how Nimai was. We didn't see any approach how he was able to implement this in these verses, but yeah, he ensured that all the citizens were following this sadhana very strictly. So that is how he created the spiritual atmosphere in the right. He is following, and he is also ensuring his citizen also following. Not only that, in the verse, Shrunvato Dayato Vishnu Kurvato Bruvata Katha, he was also keep on meditating on the Vishnu, reading the Krishna's kathas, hearing Krishna's kathas, glories. And he is a king emperor. He has to perform administrative activities. Ruling the kingdom is also administrative activity. In normal sense, it looked like a material activity. But in one of the previous verse, in the 31st verse, I think, in the same chapter, it was mentioned, he was feeling that this kingdom, he received this kingdom by the grace of Lord. So it means he is having that gratitude towards God. Because of Supreme Lord, he was able to receive this kingdom. So when you have that gratitude towards kingdom, whatever you activities, administrative activities, ruling the kingdom you do, you will definitely keep Krishna in the center. Right? So that is his mood. When his gratitude, he assuming that he's thinking that this everything he got through by mercy of Lord. So whatever he is using, whatever he is acting, doing the work, he is keeping Krishna in the center, and he is performing. So this is how created all the atmosphere which is conducive to Krishna conscious, which is conducive to bhakti. So that is how this is the first thing he did. He created the Krishna conscious atmosphere. Now, still we are not, this is one aspect, but that will not help us to continue doing the service for such a long period, right? What other things we have to, how we have to understand what made him to continue this devotion for such a long period. So we need to understand the mind, how our mind works. Like in the 6th chapter, I guess it is 6th chapter, it was mentioned, mind is our enemy. It can be our enemy as well as it can be our friend. How? If the mind supports in doing bhakti, if mind encourages, supports us to doing chanting, if the mind is encouraging to listen Bhagavad Katha, if mind is encouraging us to do any service, doing the garland, preparing bhoga, if the mind supports without any distraction, then mind is our friend. Suppose if it is disturbing you while doing the chanting, your mind keep disturbing, means it is its enemy. And if it is disturbing any of your sadhana, any of your bhakti, means it is your enemy. So but now, how can you make mind friend? You have to make you have to make the mind as your friend. Then only you can keep doing sadhana without any disturbance. That is the first factor. So the thing which Swayambhu Manu did is the verse which is mentioning Jayato Vishnu. That is what he is contemplating on Vishnu. He was remembering Vishnu all the time. Now, again, we are trying to understand our mind. So mind is always active. In the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter it was mentioned, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Mind is always flickering. It will be wandering. It is always disturbed. Right? It is very strong, determined. It will follow, mind will do whatever it thinks unless you control. So, there are two options. Either you have to Dhyayato Vishnu. And if you are not able to Dhyayato Vishnu, you don't have any third, two, three options. You have only one option. Again, you have to Dhyayato Vishaya. You will have, your mind will be engaged in sense objects. You will not have multiple options. If you are focusing on Vishnu, it's well and good. If you are not focusing on Vishnu, your mind definitely it goes to, there is no third, fourth option. It will engage in Jayato, other sense enjoyment, other sense objects. So, what will happen? If you are not doing Jayato Vishnu, you will have doing this, enjoying the sense objects. What will happen when you are involved in sense enjoyment? When you are engaging your senses in objects. That is where we have the nice verse from Bhagavad Gita. 2.62. Jayato Vishayat Punsa Sangas Teshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Abhijayate. If you are not doing Jayato Vishnu, if you are doing, then you are doing Jayato Vishaya, means sense objects. Your mind is involved in, engaged in doing enjoying the sense enjoyment. It's engaging your senses in enjoying with the material nature, right? So what will happen? Jayato Vishan Punsa Sangas Teshubha Jayate. When you get attachment. And from the attachment, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. So from the attachment, you will develop? Desire, the lust. And when the lust comes, from the lust it will Kama Krodho Abhijayate. So you will get Krodha, means anger. So this is so if you are not doing the Dhyayato Vishnu, you will get into this path. There is no third, fourth option. This is the second option. You have only two options. So this is how your mind works. So we see the many examples. I think this verse I referred some time back, few months back as well in the same class. I gave an example of George Street. If you are working in the George Street iPhone showroom, right? And one day, if suppose you are daily walking, your office is there, you are doing some work there, every day you going in front of that showroom. And when you see when the new Apple iPhone is launched, you will see big queue. And you will be, first time you say, first day, okay, people are there to buy new version. Second day also you started going on the same route. So again you started seeing, okay, something still so many people are there inside. And third day also. Then fourth day you think, okay, let me go and see how the new model is looking like, how it is different the phone, how it is different from my phone which he is currently having. Then you go inside, you will check for the phone and you will see various features. They will explain all the details of the new phone. And then that is where you started getting attraction. Once your attraction is the next, once you come out of that shop, you will keep thinking about that feature, new features available in that phone, and you keep on meditating on those features. You will say, okay, this is a nice feature, I can use so and so way, this way, using that feature, right? You will keep on thinking. Then finally what will happen? From the desire to attachment comes. When that attachment is there, then when you reach that attachment stage, you will think that, okay, definitely I have to get this phone. That is the kama, that is the desire. Right? So you started going in front of the showroom and front of the showroom, and you keep on watching that, and finally you got a desire, and you keep on thinking about that item, then finally your attachment develops. When you are in the attachment stage, you wanted to get that, okay, I have to definitely get this phone, this is very nice phone, I wanted to, that desire comes. Suppose you are then you make a plan, okay, I have to get this phone, I need money. Suppose you are working in a nice company like Facebook or Twitter or some big companies, nice companies, and you planned it, but suddenly they started doing redundancy. Many people are getting redundancy from that company. Then all your plans become upside down. And what will happen? You are very determined to get the phone, and your things have changed. Then you will get anger. right? This is how the mind works. Just what is the reason? Just you started seeing one item, keep on meditating on those things, and finally you ended up in the Krodha state. Not only that, the subsequent 2.63 also tells. Krodha about sammohan, sammohan smruti vibhrama. Smruti vibhramsha buddhi nasha pranashyati. What will happen? From the Krodha, illusion comes. From the illusion, you will get bewilderment. From the bewilderment, you will get buddhi nasha. You will lose the intelligence. From the intelligence, you will fall down. We can see same thing in Ajamila pastimes. Ajamila, what? He was a nice Brahmana. He is doing Swadharma. He is doing all Brahmanical activities. He was very nice Brahmana. But what happened? One day, he went to forest to pluck the flowers for his daily activities, puja. And on the way back, he saw some scene where the prostitute was associating with the Shudra. And he saw that once. But he was keep on thinking about that incident. What happened? The attraction developed. And from attraction to attachment. When he's into attachment stage, he started associating with the desire came to associate with that prostitute. And then he fell down. He started living with prostitute. So this is the momentarily thing, the fraction of seconds you saw something, you keep meditating, and you will be into that's it. You trapped into that condition. So this is how powerful mind is. So if you are not able to perform Jayato Vishnu, only if you are in Jayato Vishya, this is the situation. So what is the required thing? We need to. So here the two stages, the process, how it works. First level, when you keep on contemplating, you will develop the attraction. That is the initial stage. This is the stage we need to curb any negative attractions, any negative things. If you are not able to curb these things, what will happen? The next stage is attachment. This is the ripened state. Like if you have a mango, this is the mango season. We see but raw mango. After a few days, it will become a ripened fruit, right? Same thing. When you keep on meditating on these material activities, material things which are not conducive to helpful to your Krishna conscious journey, when you keep on thinking, then what will happen? You will be getting into same. First, your attraction, desire to attraction to attachment to the next stage is you will get Krodha, and then we saw the two verses 263 and 263, 262 and 63, right? You will be getting a falling down. Same thing happened. Ajamila, he got associated, and finally he fall down from his Brahmanical position, right? So that is what we can see. So what is the important thing is you need to remove all those negative thoughts, negative attractions from your mind at the initial stage itself. Otherwise, you will be having a problem. So that's where, that is our nature of mind. Nature of the one more characteristic of the mind is whatever you feed to the mind, it munches that. So if you do the Vishnu stories, if you keep feeding your Krishna Katha, Vishnu Katha, and any other glories of Vishnu, your mind will keep thinking about. But if you, instead of feeding glories of Vishnu, pastimes of Krishna, if you keep on sending material enjoyment, sense enjoyment related things, it will keep retaining those things. So that is how the mind works. So the important thing is we need to train our mind. We need to keep our mind in the Jayato Vishnu stage, not Jayato Vishya. These are the two important verses which give us the formula how you can keep yourself in the motivated, enthusiastic in the Krishna conscious path. So whether you choose a Jayato Vishnu or Jayato Vishya, we need to. So suppose if you train your mind to listen Krishna Katha, Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, various scriptures, your mind will be completely involved in that stage. But if you keep on, if your mind, that's what then if you train, then you will be in the same stage. Like sometimes, like suppose if you are going for an holiday, sometimes we feel that, okay, time went very fast. Right? We feel that. So suppose if you are planning for a holiday, what you do? 1 week holiday you are going. So you make all the plans. You book your tickets, you make all your arrangements, you make arrangements to stay in that place, and you have all the plans to get your prasadam sorted out, everything. Now once you start your vacation, You Saturday or Sunday morning you leave, and next 5 days you are very busy. What you do? You were completely absorbed in your plan. Okay, today I went this, today night I am going to do, and the next day. So you keep on executing your plan, right? So at the end of the 1 week, you think, oh, time went very fast. I didn't realize that I spent 1 week time, right? We feel this kind of mood we need to inculcate in a Krishna consciousness. How we can do? So you plan it such that you have a schedule, like how you material activities you plan. Okay, today I am reading this canto, this words. Tomorrow I will plan this lecture, listen this lecture, and day after tomorrow I read the other lecture from sannyasi, and other. So you plan to do and you decide when you are going to do some service in the temple. Okay, tomorrow I have this service, and next day when I get my salary, I will buy nice garments for Lord, or I will buy nice boga. So like that you keep on plan all your spiritual activities for every month or every week, every day, and you will be completely absorbed in this Krishna conscious way. You will not have much disturbance. When you fully absorbed in that, you will never get any distraction. You feel that, oh, time went very fast. I didn't realize that I spent this much time, right? The same thing happened with Swayambhuva Manu. He was involved, he created the atmosphere such that he was fully into the Krishna conscious. That is the reason he never realized that he spent 71 Chaturyugas. That's almost 3 billion years. Because he was absorbed, he was engrossed in the Krishna consciousness. He doesn't have any other. He did many material activities, but he was administering the kingdom, right? So he has to do many things. But he is keeping Krishna in the center. He understands that this kingdom is gift of Krishna. It's by mercy of Krishna only he got this. So he was doing everything keeping Krishna in the center. Same thing, we have to plan our activities such that we should be engrossed, we should be completely involved in that. So we will not have any disturbance and we will not have any distraction in our path. This is one aspect. This is how he was able to focus on that such for a long period. He was able to do meditation. Not only that, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, the 11th verse, there is an important verse. Ye yatamam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamiham. Right? So this is also helps us to understand how we can progress. Right? So ye yatamam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamiham. The way you surrender, Krishna will reciprocate. If you are surrendering to Maya, that is also Krishna's energy. So he will reciprocate that. You will be associating with Maya for a longer time. If you are involved with Krishna, Yoga Maya, then he will ensure that you are associating with Yoga Maya for a long, continuously. This is how, suppose Dhyayata Vishnu, if you are doing for Dhyayata Vishnu for 1 hour for a day, let's say, just for the understanding purpose, then what will Vishnu do? Krishna reciprocates. So you are sincerely spending 1 hour of your time. Then he will realize, they will ensure that you will get more and more time in your devotion next time. Right? So that is why he will improve. If we all remember, when we started our Krishna conscious journey, we started doing with 1 round. Hardly 5 to 10 minutes. Now we reached up to 16 rounds. Some of the devotees are doing 8 rounds, some of them are 16 rounds, and some of them are doing more than 16 rounds. Right? How it was happening? We can apply this. Ye yata mam prapadyante tams tataiva bhajamiham. Krishna will reciprocate. If you do 1 round sincerely, he will ensure that next time he will create the environment that you will do more rounds. If you are doing 8 rounds, he will ensure that you will reach a stage where you can do 16 rounds. This is how Krishna reciprocates. So this is the one example where we can see that. So, but if you are not doing any Krishna conscious activities, if you are fully into the material thing, then he will also, both are Krishna paths. Both in this verse it was mentioned that both, if you are following the material enjoyment or spiritual path, both are Krishna's path. Why? Because one side you are associating with Yoga Maya, other side you are associating with Maya. So both are Krishna's energies. So both are Krishna's paths, but we are choosing the Krishna conscious path, then he will reciprocate accordingly. So we can see with the example how it helps. So how we can understand, how we can maintain our enthusiasm, right? So in the beginning of when we do our Krishna conscious journey, we are very much enthusiastic to do many services, right? Okay, you do chanting very rigorously and you do many services. You come to temple every day. You come to attend Mangalarti, you try to attend Mangalarti every day. But after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then slowly you start losing the focus, right? Distraction comes. But how you can keep motivation? This is the process. So keep contemplating Jayato Vishnu. You keep contemplating on Vishnu. Either releasing Krishna Katha, Krishna. Do take up in the service. You plan your activities such that you are completely engrossed in these activities. So then you will be able to progress in the Krishna conscious path. So it's not only your effort, Krishna is also reciprocating. That is what he was saying. Ye yatamam prapajyante tam stataiva bhajamaham. When you are sincerely endeavoring for this, Krishna will reciprocate. And recently, the last few weeks back, we finished the Kartik month. Right? We were all regularly doing the Damodarashtakam and doing various other services. So if you understand the Damodar Leela, what happened? Mother Yashoda was trying to catch Krishna. And Krishna was running around. She was not able to caught him. But she was very much determined to catch Krishna. After so much effort, Krishna was able to surrender to Mother Yashoda was able to catch Krishna. And she was trying to bind Krishna with a rope. What is happening? Every time it's 2 inches short, right? And after so much struggle, finally, his Mother Yashoda was able to bind Krishna with a rope. But what was the key message from this story? We all know, right? 2 things, endeavor and mercy. Right? These are the two important factors. What is the endeavor? Endeavor is our Jayato Vishnu. We need to keep on meditating on Vishnu. When you are sincerely doing this Jayato Vishnu part, then the mercy part will come. When that mercy part comes, you will be able to progress your Krishna conscious journey without any disturbance. Swayambhuva Manu did for the 3 billion years, and we can do whatever, like 100 years if we live, we will be able to continue 100 years in the same path. That is the process Krishna is assuring. So this is the success formula for our Krishna conscious journey. So I would like to conclude here. Any questions, any comments? Yes.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Very nice things. So we try to, as you were mentioning in the first Vishnu, we try to think about, contemplate about, remember Vishnu. We try to, but still it is like so hard,
Yeah.
So how can we?
See the example I quoted here. Yes, I understand. So we tried. Theoretically it looks everything nice, possible, but when you are practically implementing, yes, our mind is like we said. It's very, very, very strong. Like it takes us. We will be sitting in the class, but our mind goes somewhere and thinking. Right? It's very strong. It can distract. It create disturbance and distraction in any time, at any period of time. Yes, but that's where I gave the example of chanting. If you remember chanting, when we started our journey, we didn't start it directly to 16 rounds, right? We started with 1 round. Even though whatever disturbances coming, whatever disturbances or interruptions coming in our path, we started with 1 round. But you sincerely, you committed to do 1 round. Gradually, with the support from other devotees, you are able to move on to 2 rounds. And then currently you are doing, right? So this is the example. Though, yes, there are so many things where you keep doing, practicing that. You don't stop that. That one stage, you will reach a stage, you will be doing the previous, suppose you are Dayata Vishnu, you are not able to focus, meditate on Vishnu. But if you keep on doing that, even if it is disturbing also, you do it. Don't stop it. And try to bring mind, you can't try to bring the mind back to this, on Vishnu only. You keep doing it, but like how you are chanting increases from 1 round to 16 rounds to 32 rounds, same way this will happen. So it's only our determination. That is what endeavor. That is the reason I gave the Mother Yashoda example from Damodar Leela. Mother Yashoda, she did not stop for Krishna because she was running around. She was not able to catch Krishna. But the determination was there in her and she was able to catch Krishna, right? So the same thing will happen. We have to be patient and we need to keep doing that. That is the thanks. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Ki jai.